Hey guys, it is Shifty here, back with another video. Now this is a different type of video that I've been meaning to make for quite a while, I'd say. And now that there's really no content in Fortnite at this point, you know, it's overall a really good time to make this video. Now I've watched a couple of other videos kind of like this one, where people, you know, state how they feel about the game and what they want added in the future. Now this is kind of specifically for Season 3, you know, what I expect from Season 3 for the game to keep on growing. Otherwise, it's pretty much gonna die if this stuff doesn't happen. Because, man, let me tell you, it's crazy, like on social media and stuff, about people just like complaining. And I'll also probably like give my kind of opinion on certain stuff as well, because, you know, there's a bunch of controversy going on right now. So let's get into it. Now I have a bunch of like stuff written down that I'm going to be talking about. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is unvaulting and vaulting weapons. So we definitely need like a vaulting on the mythical weapons, alright? It is so frustrating sitting here dying by kids just spraying with the Tommy gun, the minigun, and then they have the stupid grappler thing, which I find kind of annoying. But, you know, they kind of nerfed it a bit, so I guess it's okay now. But I don't like the fact that, you know, it's infinite grapples. I think that's just kind of OP. And I get it, you know, it's a mythical weapon, so you know, it's gotta have some power, like greater than a legendary, but I still feel like they should not be in the game. Definitely not in Season 3. In unvaulting, we could definitely have a lot of unvaulting weapons that could change the game tremendously. Like, I was watching Cypher PK's video, I think it was like last night I was watching it or something, and he was talking about like bringing back rifts. Like, just simple stuff like that, like really changes the game, like, so much. And not even just like unvaulting stuff like that. I'm talking about like actual weapons too, like the infantry rifle. I personally did not like the infantry rifle too much, but it was not an overpowered weapon like most of the guns that we have today. Like, I'm perfectly fine with the infantry rifle. Yeah, people like it. We want it back in the game. Now, I personally would probably not pick it up, but it's still not an overpowered weapon, and I feel like, you know, it's obviously, it's a well-balanced weapon, and I could definitely see it coming back. But knowing Epic, you know, there is something else. Now, I want to talk about live events, alright? Yeah, I really miss, like, the live events that had to do with Fortnite. For instance, I didn't even watch the Deadpool event. I'm pretty sure there was, like, a live event for Deadpool, but I totally missed it. I sleep in way too much, so I can't do that. But like actual live events related to Fortnite have to do with like storyline, that type of thing. I'm not the type of guy, you know, that likes storyline, but you know, it's fun. It brings more things to Fortnite, and I really enjoy that. So like storyline is just something I feel like is really unique to a game that's kind of like an online game type of thing. You know, you'd see that from like a campaign, you know, like a storyline, but like in a multiplayer, I think it's just so cool, and I feel like they should really bring back the storyline. I mean, I know they kind of have it with the battle pass, but it really does not feel like a storyline to me. So maybe like more live events towards that type of thing. And of course, the one and only mobility. Everybody wants it. It should definitely be in Season 3. You know, nothing OP or anything, but stuff that you can get out of the storm from. I don't know how many times I'm dying from storm or getting storm pushed by somebody. There's literally like, there's the boat, there's the helicopter, there's the jump pad, and then I guess we could count the crash pad. I mean, it doesn't really take you that far. It's nothing too big. I'd really like the bounce pad. I mean, they're kind of the same thing, but I feel like the bounce pads are a little better. But, you know, if you don't have one of those things, you're pretty much done for if you're in the storm. I mean, unless you're a controller player. And we'll talk about that a little later, but, you know, it's really annoying, and I'd like to see more mobility, stuff on the map, you know, not stuff that you can carry, like launch pads or crash pads. I want to see, like, actual mobility. Like, I love the geysers, like the water geysers back in, I think it was, like, Season 8 or something like that, Season 9, somewhere around there, where you could, you know, you fly up, kind of like a launch pad, but it's on the map, you know what I'm saying? So you can get away from an enemy, that type of thing. And there's also a chance of you getting lasered out of the sky, but, you know, it's still a way of escaping, if that makes sense. Now, heals. Heals is something that, you know, I haven't really, like, complained about much, but when I'm really thinking about it, there's not very many, like, options to choose from. You got the bandages, got the med kit, you got the bandage bazooka. I mean, those are 3 things from heals. I mean, that's okay, but when we're talking about shields, we have like mini potions and then your big pots. That's not very much. Now, this is a little bit of a copy from the bandage bazooka, but I kind of like to see something like that, but shields. So like a shield bazooka. I know that kind of seems a little weird, but I'd kind of like something like that. Or even bring back the chug splashes, or the good old classic chug jug. I mean, just more stuff to choose from. And not just like heals like that, but heals out in the open, like in the actual map. Like, you have your mushrooms and then you have your apples. I like to see more stuff, not just like in one place. Like, you get all that stuff mainly from like whaling, but I'm talking about like everywhere around the map, not just like one single spot. And the next thing I want to talk about is better point of interest. Now, what I mean by that is, like, I feel like I'm only landing in, like, a specific, like, 3 spots. Like, I typically land Pleasant, Salty, and sometimes other places, but I like to go Frenzy a lot. But I want to see more, like, POIs like that. Like, I feel like now everyone's just going agency, and, people are just dying off spawn like crazy. Like, I want the game to last. I feel like by the end of the first circle, there's like 20 people left, and it's not as fun, you know what I'm saying? People just sweating, just absolutely annihilating people. There's nothing wrong with like absolutely demolishing people like that, but it's just not as fun, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to survive here. This is like a survival battle royale type of game. Your goal is to survive. I feel like it'd be way better if there's more variety, more people landing on like pretty much every single POI. You know what I'm saying? Like, have something like in every single POI to make it interesting where people want to go there. Like, you have your like 4 locations with the mythic weapons, and that drew people there. But I want something like not overpowered to make it. I want not something overpowered, but like I want more types of like salties like on different sides of the map. You know what I'm saying? Like, not actual salty springs, but like point of interest that are like fun. Like Lazy Links, like back in like season 6, I think it was, Lazy Links was an amazing point of interest. Like, it had mobility, it had a bunch of people landing there, like Salty, and, it was far off the map. It was like where Anarchy Acres was. It was like the middle top of the map, so, it wasn't necessarily like a hot drop. Just like point of interest like that. And oh boy, the good old skill-based matchmaking. We all want to remove skill-based matchmaking. Now, I'm gonna kind of give my opinion on it and how it should be fixed, but you don't necessarily have to listen to me. This is kind of just my input on it. I'm gonna be trying to look at different perspectives of both the pro players, content creators, and the casuals, and the new player. So I think that skill-based matchmaking is not necessarily a bad thing, but, maybe like a player reaches a certain amount of wins or a certain level, like either gets their first 5 wins or like level 10 or to level 15. Level 15 is when I believe when you could start playing arena. So I feel like, you should be playing against like bots, not actual bots, but like really, really bad players up until like level 15. And then you actually get spawned into random lobbies. Like, for casual players like me, as a content creator, I don't want to go into a game and get put up against like a Clix that has 0 ping and just takes my wall every single time, literally sweats, cranks on me. It's so annoying. I go into like almost every single lobby up until like nighttime. Once I go like play at nighttime, I can finally get past spawn and have a chance of winning the game, but it's still like super sweaty. And I feel like the more random it is, the more chance of like the mystery. I was watching Cypher PK's video and him talking about the randomness. I personally never really did random duos or random squads. I think I did like 1 video on it, and that's it. And now you're just gonna get put up against people on the same skill level as you. Not even the same skill level. I think it's either like KD ratio or how many wins you have in pubs. I have no idea how they go about your skill base. I feel like it should be more random, because then, you get put up against a bad player, and then you get put up against a good player. You don't know. And that's the great part about Fortnite that I really missed back in the day. Hopping on like early morning and playing squads on stream. That was the best part, like playing with the fans and stuff. You could play like random squads. It was amazing. And now there was something that I really missed, but it probably doesn't matter, but I'm still gonna put on this list anyway, and that was like the challenges. Like more stuff to grind for. Like I remember like for Valentine's Day, you know, you have your Valentine's Day challenges. I want like more kind of like challenges like that where, you know, you grind for, let's say, a pickaxe or even a skin. Like back in Christmas, that was like really fun. You know, you grind for your skin. Well, you really didn't grind for the skin, you know, you kind of opened up the presents, but I want like, you know, that to be the thing, and you can only get that skin or pickaxe from, you know, the challenges and not actually come out on the item shop. And this is probably like one of the more important things on this list, and that's arena leaderboard. Now it may not seem very big compared to the other things, but to me I feel like it's really important, and it also leads up to the next thing I'm about to talk about. And I feel like there should be arena points like leaderboard. I saw this thing on Twitter, and this guy had like a perfect example. Like, you know, it showed like how many points you have and what place you have. Like that's amazing. I'd love for them to do that in arena, not even just the cups too, like actual arena. And like have it to where, you know, it's an overall point system with like every single region. So like East, West, you know, OCE, Asia, all the other servers, and you know, you can go and look through every single region and see the top people with the most arena points from every single region. And I feel like they should do it where, like, I believe it was like a cup or whatever, like you got that skin like for getting like top 25% or something like that. I feel like they should do that, but overall arena points, so it's like something you can actually grind for. So like top 25% on the overall leaderboard for arena, or top 50%, you know, something, you know, worth grinding for to get those arena points, you know, instead of like all the sweaty players playing pub. You know, it's competitive, I feel like. And not actually release it into the item shop Epic Games. Yes, if you're watching this video, but you're probably not, please don't reward something and then put it in the item shop like a couple weeks later. It's not fun, man. It makes people wonder why they even grinded for it in the first place when they could just buy it. But overall, I feel like those are some really good points, and I feel like if they add at least a quarter of what I said into Season 3, I feel like Fortnite could have a potential chance of reviving their game and make it stand out to games like Valorant. Like, I was so glad when Apex Legends came out, because when Apex Legends came out, you know, Epic started updating their game. Now I think they'll like do a really good job. I feel like I'm saying this like hoping that they'll do an actual good job on Season 3 because of Valorant. But Valorant, you know, it's only a PC game, but you know, I still hope that they actually do that. And lastly, you know, I couldn't forget the good old aim assist. Now, if you've seen Call of Duty, you know that aim assist is actually somewhat balanced. You know, they should either nerf aim assist to where it's not overpowered, or give both platforms, well, like every platform, aim assist. And I believe it was on Modern Warfare where, you know, both PC players and console players had aim assist, but it's not overpowered. You know, controller players also do need aim assist because, you know, you have like your little joysticks. Like, you can't really like lock onto somebody normally, like when you're getting shot and you have to turn around, you know what I'm saying? So I do feel for the controller players, and I kind of want to stay neutral because I know this is like very controversial and it's getting really toxic, but you know, I had to make some input about aim assist because, you know, it's so important at this point. You know, people want it removed or nerfed. I personally think it needs a little nerfing. You know, I'm not dying too much by controller players just spamming, but I still think it needs nerfed a little bit, just to the point where it makes the game actually enjoyable. But overall, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you have any other suggestions on what they should add in Season 3, just leave them down in the comments. I might make a tweet about it or something and give you credit for it or something like that. And tell me what your thoughts on Fortnite as of right now. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Yeah, hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'm out.